Hi guys, in this video I'll be comparing different synthetic papers, Nara, Yupo, and EVO. Take a look, I hope you like it. This is a longer video, so be prepared. Hi guys, so it's been a while since I've done a video like this, a comparison video, and actually someone requested me to do this since my last one was over a year ago, and apparently the Yupo part cut out. So in this video today, I will be comparing between Yupo, EVO, and Nara. I'll be using my favorite pink, which is pink sherbet, and it's rendering. And I actually want to compare between this, so using the ink and using the alcohol. This is 99% isopropyl alcohol versus blending solution, and I chose blending solution from Tim Holtz because I think it probably will be more comparable with render ink. So yeah, let's take a look, and I will be using this blower that I use a lot in my videos. So let's see how these will perform. So I'm thinking I will take a drop, and I will just go from first Yupo, EVO, and Nara, just since they're already laid out this way on the paper here. And let's see. Okay, so I'm thinking I will do a drop on the top, on the bottom, and then we can see the difference also between the isopropyl alcohol versus blending solution. So I'll do drop here and drop here. Well, this is a little bigger than the drop, but you know, it doesn't have to be a drop. It can be a nice circle. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, I mean, this is, we can also kind of look how it moves. Yeah, let's see how the ink would move without anything, right? Without any blending solution or alcohol or anything like that. So not so much movement on this one, right? So on the top, I'll be adding blending solution. Just a couple drops like this, and now we can move it. It's a pretty smooth, nice movement here in the paper. And with Yupo, which I'm sure you already know if you have tried Yupo before, it's you definitely see the staining underneath, although this color is actually really light, but with Yupo you'll always see some staining. Now some really like that and really going for that sort of look, because in a way it can give you more of a 3D effect if you have that staining. Okay, so here we have the blending solution. Now let's do our 99% isopropyl alcohol. And I guess I can just do the same thing. I'll just do like this, these drops in a circle. And I personally, I use, I like the isopropyl alcohol, I guess more in my works, although it's just a preference. I guess it depends on what am I using and for what. But if I'm working with a bigger piece, and it's just easier with the alcohol, I think. And actually, if you see here also, it's almost like, because this is with the blending solution here, right? And this is with the isopropyl alcohol, and you see it almost gives more of an interesting texture, I would say, where this makes it more smooth. Yeah. So, okay, so here we have it. So now let's move over to EVO. I'll do the same thing, like let me do like kind of circle here, circle there, and yeah, so let me see, just kind of the same thing, see if there's how it would move. Yeah, it's not so much movement. Yeah, and it's already dry, so I think I might have put a little bit more extra here of color. Let me just add just a little bit, because I think that circle was a little bit bigger, just so I keep it more even. So let me just try it out. Okay, here we go. So, okay, so let me then now add some alcohol blending solution. That's what it says here. I'm just reading from it. So just do the same thing, kind of like in a circle, just the same way I did it with Yupo. So let's see. Now I want to say with EVO, you will see like a slight staining, but it wouldn't stain as much as you would see with the staining that you have with Yupo, or on Yupo paper, I'm sorry. Okay. So you see a complete different result, and you see this kind of like the bluish, the mark underneath, that's the staining I was talking about, where here you don't really see it. Yeah, you actually, I don't know, maybe like a slight here, but I don't know. I mean, it just looks like it's a nice gradient. Yeah, well, you can kind of see maybe like a little bit here, but it's very, very minor. But it's great because you can see the comparison between this and this as example. Okay, so let's now move to this little piece, this circle, and this is the 99% isopropyl alcohol, and the same thing like I did there. I just went in a kind of like in a circled motion. And let's see, it seems like I didn't add quite as much alcohol. Wait a second, I think I need to just add a little bit more. I think my drops were a little bit smaller than the one on Yupo. Yeah, and actually here in this one you see a little bit more staining. I think maybe also because it was sitting a little bit longer, drying, you know. So, but which is good. So you can see more of the results. Yeah, let me add a little bit more here. Yeah, it's always interesting to see how the different colors can turn out in different papers. Because as you can see, like this color on Yupo, it has a little bit of bluish undertones and almost like a fuchsia pink, where on Yupo it stays more, I guess, like lavender pink. Okay. Well, I mean, if I would be doing the piece now, I would add more here, and I would go, you know. But since this is just a video for a comparison, I'm not going to add anything. I'm sorry, there's a little thing here that's bothering me. Okay. Yeah. So let's go over to Nara now, and the same thing. I just will do a circle here and circle there. Oopsies. Okay. It's interesting, for some reason on this paper it's hard to do the circle. Look, it just turns into these interesting shapes. Well, I know that on Nara, okay, let's see the movement. Okay, so it's more, you see the movement is more like fluid here. I guess it's moving just a little bit more. I mean, I can just move this too because it did not want to stay as a circle, so I can just move it just to see how it's moving around on the paper without anything. Okay, here we go. I just want it to be a little bit more dry before I will add blending solution to it. So I would say that this it takes a little bit longer to dry. It seems like Yupo dried faster than Nara. It takes me a little bit longer, a little bit more efforts here to dry. Okay, so now this one is dry. I'm not gonna do anything with this just yet because it will get dry anyways, drier. So now we're gonna go in with the alcohol blending solution. And again, I'm just going to kind of like do little like drops around. Okay, good. I think I added a little bit extra here, but this circle ended up to be a little bit further out. Yeah. So let's see, what does this do? So this one is interesting, where you see it doesn't, it kind of like stops where I put it, like as it doesn't blend. You see what it is? Like it creates these almost like borders, right? But it doesn't have the same, like if you see these two, it was more of a like blend, where here it's interesting. It's almost like it blends on the sides where solution went, but not really, it doesn't transfer, like it's not, I can't really move it. It almost like I don't know what it is, it's interesting. Yeah, but I can't really move it inwards, so I would have to add more blending solution here. But for the purpose of the tutorial, I'm not going to add anything to it, because we just want to see how these different papers would perform if you use with the whether it's blending solution or the isopropyl alcohol. Now, some people like 91%. I use 99. I mentioned this in one of my videos before, I think actually last week's video, and that's because I live in Florida and it's a lot of humidity here, so I can see more of that, the beading sort of thing, the beads, the little water humidity things that appear on the paper. And it seems that with 99% it's better, like it's more manageable and it's easier for me to control. So okay, let's see what are we having here. So it's interesting. So if you can see it, actually with both, with the isopropyl alcohol and also with the blending solution, it's almost like it takes the ink inwards and it makes it more concentrated inwards, right? And this paper doesn't really stain. I mean, I'm sure if you use black, it would stain some, but so Yupo stains the most, EVO would be the second, and Nara, it's a good sequence here, and Nara doesn't really stain. And yeah, so this is interesting to see. Yeah, so I mean, I think all papers are obviously great and you can use them for different things. It's just depending on what you're trying to achieve and maybe your price point, etc. So you can achieve definitely different depths and just different different designs, and you can even see from, although I was trying to create exactly the same thing, right? I just tried to create a circle, and none of them really, well, they're not alike, right? Yeah. So, and again, if I would work, like normally so when I work with EVO, I work with isopropyl alcohol, and I would just add more inks to this part, to cover some of the staining and create more of the depth here. So, but yeah, here you go. And also I wanted to do a little test in regards to the wipe off. Now with EVO, you will wipe off some of the things, but different colors, different pigments might be a little bit different. So with Nara, you should be able to wipe off, I think, pretty much everything. So, okay, I don't want to make it very messy here, so let's see how we should do it. Okay, let me see. So let me just, I guess, start. Well, no, I should probably start from here because we started from here before. So let's see. So this is just the alcohol here. Okay, so a clean tissue. Let me see how I should do it so you can see it well. Okay, but you can actually see it just from this. You can see how the upper layer of the ink kind of lifted itself and now floating on the top, and then you see the inner part, that's the part that's stained, right? Actually, before I do anything with wiping, let me just do it on all of them, because I think it's kind of interesting to see them lift. Okay, and here you see with this one, you can see how it lifts, right? So everything you can see that like lifted now, I could wipe that off, right? And you see the small stain, but much smaller than it would be here underneath there. And let's see with Nara. see what's gonna happen here. So yeah, you see now it's going, it's lifting. Okay, so let me then go to the actual test of wiping this off. I just want to make sure it didn't dry while I was talking here, so just added a little bit more super alcohol to it. Yeah, okay, so here we go. You see, so you can wipe off that part that was floating. That's the part we saw, and that's what you will be able to wipe off basically. So now let's go over to EVO. Let me do the same thing, just add just a little bit since I was talking. Yeah, so kind of can see here that again, that's what I was talking about. With EVO you see a little bit of staining, but not quite as much as with Yupo. Okay, so now let's do Nara. Trying not to ruin my nails as I'm going at it. Yeah, okay, so you see Nara, you were able to wipe it up fully. Yep, so here we go. So we have Yupo that stains, EVO that stains but lasts, and we have Nara that doesn't stain at all. All of these papers, you know, are great, and you can use them just as your preference. They give different type of shapes, like for example, the things that we have here that are available to us now, since I was wiping off the bottom parts. But you can see how this looks like a beautiful flower, and it didn't take me a lot of effort to create this. This also looks like a very interesting, different type of shaped flower. Well, with this one, I probably would have to work a little bit more and go in and move the ink a little bit more to create the shape. It seems like that with this one, using the blending solution, to kind of spread out more. But here we go. Here's the video for you to see, compare, and make your own judgment of these things, of the papers and how it works. And then with different brands, with different inks, the results will be slightly different just because the inks are different, you know, ingredients in them, the pigments are different. So, but for this particular one, I chose to use pink sherbet just because I really, really like this pink. It's really beautiful. But yes, please let me know if there is any other videos that you would like to see, like a comparison ones, or if you want me to try to use some other inks. I hope this was interesting to you. If you have any questions about the process or the papers, please make sure to utilize the commenting section down below. And of course, if you have any other suggestions, please go ahead and message me. Otherwise, I'll be seeing you in the next video.